playing a client who is in a domestic violence relationship with her boyfriend, and he provides her or like makes her endure verbal and physical violence. And what we'll be trying to do and accomplish in this is, um, just talk about the pros and cons of this abusive relationship.
All right, Mandy, great to see you again. So we left off with talking about the abuse in your relationship with your boyfriend and how to make you more of your own individual. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so how have you been feeling lately with regards to that?
I think that the relationship is going pretty well. Sometimes it's really hard. Some of the things he does, but I think a lot of it can be my fault.
Okay.
So I don't think it's too bad.
So would you consider that things have gotten better since we last met, or how have things progressed?
I guess they probably have gotten a bit worse, if anything. And
Okay.
maybe this is why my friends and family keep telling me to ditch this relationship, and also probably why the court has ordered me to come here.
Okay.
Talk to you about this.
And why would you consider that it's gotten worse? What has happened lately?
Well, before when we were talking, it was mostly verbal violence.
Okay.
And I think, over the past few months, it's really increased to be very physical as well now.
Okay. What kind of physical has he um hit you or what
So
exactly?
before he would do much name calling, like he would call me the B word, or but he actually now will try and choke me. He will drag me by my hair. He will hit me as well. Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes I have a lot of bruises on me, and it's kind of hard to come up with new stories every time to tell people why I have bruises. But
Yeah. I mean, concealing something like that would definitely be pretty hard and taxing emotionally, right?
yeah, um, it's almost kind of like my self esteem and my self worth is um, become all about him.
Okay. So you feel like you've have
I
this
mean, like
greater.
I've been giving him self worth over myself.
So you're almost transferring your self worth onto him,
Mm-hmm.
like he is your self worth. Like,
I give him all my energy.
okay, and
And
so you don't have any for yourself anymore.
that sounds funny. Sorry. Um, I mean, it's a thing where I feel like I'm walking on eggshells all the time to try and please him and try and diminish the violence. But I feel like every time it doesn't matter what I do. It feels like, and so I just feel like my self esteem is going down, and that he's getting it. Kind of. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
So he's got more self esteem than I do.
Almost like you're transferring, um, instead of caring about yourself, the relationship has shifted more towards what he wants.
I guess you could say that.
Okay.
You could say that.
So, I guess with the whole relationship, what would you expect out of a relationship?
Well, I think that it would be very loving and caring and kind to one another and this kind of thing. And I think we do have that. Um, but sometimes I think I can deserve the physical and verbal violence.
Okay.
Even though it's really hard, but I do kind of feel like sometimes I act out a little bit or something as if I deserve it. Um, so I'm not totally resentful about it because I feel like I do deserve it, but it is hard.
So you're saying that you deserve this physical punishment because sometimes you screw up,
Yeah.
or okay, and so that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Um, if he screws up, do you act out at all like that to him?
No, probably because he would lash out at me if
Okay.
I did.
Okay. So what exactly makes you think like you deserve this exactly? What's so bad that you need to physically be hurt?
Well, sometimes I'm not home at the time he wants me to be. So it's kind of like he's got a schedule going. So I have to be home at 5:30, and if I'm not home at 5:30, then I get in trouble. Or if I don't do things exactly as he asks or says.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of feel like I know that there are consequences, so I kind of deserve the punishment for, you know what I mean?
Almost because like that's the rule.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That sounds pretty damaging for your relationship from what I can tell. Um, this double standard that you guys have, um, where you're worrying more about him than you're worrying about yourself, is very damaging to your own self worth, to the point where all of your happiness is placed on trying to please him. And that's where you become, you know, this person that's just there being abused and letting this happen when, what we would want to see from you, what I'd like to see from you, is that you could be more confident and an independent person to take care of yourself, so that you don't get hurt like that.
But when I do,
I will be a client who's suffering from a little bit of depression caused by moves throughout their childhood and the struggle to make friends. Um, and I come into the counseling center to meet with Dr. Mandy, who's going to give me some advice of how to deal with my depression um, and make more friends lately.
okay, so um, we left off at talking about how you've been feeling very sad lately, right?
Mm.
And how it's been hard to communicate with those around you, and because you're so depressed, right?
Yeah, I'm just really struggling to be able to put myself out there and make friends. I just feel like when I do, like everyone kind of is just rejecting me, even if maybe they're not. I just feel that way, and so I don't really want to pursue anything.
Okay, so you feel like one reason for your depression is, or your sadness is because you have some kind of social anxiety, it sounds like,
Yeah, yeah, kind of like that.
where you're too anxious to make friends, so it kind of pulls you back in to not do those things, right?
Yeah, I mean,
And to not be social.
every time I try and like put myself out there, people just kind of put me down. And so when they do, like, because I'm trying so hard to, please another person to like make them want to like me, that when I get shut down again, like that just doesn't really make me want to try and make friends anymore.
Who is shutting you down, and why are they shutting you down?
Um,
Are these people you know?
yeah, they're
Well,
just people at school, like, um, for example, like a lot of them already have their own friends and their groups of friends with all their circles of influences and stuff. Um, so I like try and jump in to help them with a group assignment or something, but they just kind of like just shrug me off like they already have everything covered.
okay, so it sounds like there's kind of a lot of clickiness that goes on between these different groups of friends that you encounter, right? So when you come up to them and want to be friends with them, they just kind of shut you down.
Yeah.
As if you're not a part of their group or something.
Yeah, because I'm not.
Okay. Do you, have you noticed there are some people who are by themselves at all?
Usually not really. I can't really find a lot of people alone. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only person alone.
That must be really hard.
Yeah. I get down on myself a lot for that.
Well, it sounds like maybe trying to make friends outside of school might be a good idea.
Like how?
So, it looks like these friends that you're trying to talk to are just in school and go to your school, right?
Yeah.
That they're just groups that go to your school. What about if you, are you religious at all?
Yeah.
Okay, well, do you have any friends at your church that you go to or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really call them friends. We talk at church, but we don't ever do anything outside of church, really.
Do you feel like you could have a potential making friends at church?
I guess I didn't really think about it like that. Maybe it could be. I mean, yeah. I mean, there is this one girl that she's always really nice to me. So maybe if I asked her to hang out or something, that we could be friends.
That sounds like a good idea. Um, are you afraid of doing that?
I mean, she is really nice to me, like a lot nicer than the other people. But I don't know. I just sometimes I don't want to really talk to her too much because I'm afraid that if I try to make her my friend, that she'll stop being nice to me. You know, just like everyone else.
And so this fear is kind of making you refrain from really going out there and trying to make more friends, right?
Yeah.
Which makes a lot of sense, and that would be really, really tough. Do you have any, how long has this been going on for?
Pretty much. Well, like I said, when we moved around a lot, it was really hard for me to start up making friends. But then once I found them, like we would get along. But lately, this time around, just since I started school here, I just haven't been able to find friends, and it's kind of been going on for a lot longer than it took me in other places. So I just kind of am really down on myself because I should have friends by now. I've been here for like over a year, so, and I still don't have any friends, and so I kind of feel like something's wrong with me, that people don't like me.
Okay, so it sounds like you're saying that before when you were moving around, it was still really hard to make friends, but it doesn't feel like it was as hard as it is now, right? Versus before.
Yeah, it's a lot harder now, it seems.
Do you think that might be because you're giving up a little bit?
Yeah, I guess so.
Or you're a little bit more worried about it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm more discouraged, so I try a little bit less, I guess.
Okay. So it sounds like from this whole conversation that I've had from you that Um, you're very sad. You're a lot more depressed than you used to be. And one of the main reasons for that is because you're so afraid to try and make new friends. And another reason on why you feel, or a reason why you feel like it's really hard to make friends here, is because you feel as if it's much harder to make friends here than it used to be in the other places you lived. So maybe what we'll try and work on for now is maybe we'll try and have you just gain some confidence. Just try your best to put yourself out there for the girl at church, and we'll see where that gets you in getting a new friendship. And if it does work out, I hope that we might be able to further discover that here is not that much more different in making friends than other places. So thanks for coming in, and I can't wait to hear your results.